Most men that are going to go and watch a video like this already know that your personality matters a whole lot. You've heard it, you know that, and you probably think you have a pretty decent personality. And yet, you may still not be getting the responses that you genuinely want from women that you are interested in. And the reason in almost every case is not that you lack attractive qualities. It's that you may not fully understand what specific qualities do to a woman on the inside, what they signal, what they create for a woman, and what happens at an almost involuntary level when those qualities are missing from your interactions and your dates. So that's what today's video is really about. It's not a list, it's a lens. And by the end of this video, you're going to see yourself and the way that you show up very differently. Now, welcome to this channel. My name is Liza, a dating and relationship coach for men. I support good-hearted men to attract deeply loving relationships and go on to maintain those relationships. I work privately with men on a one-on-one basis. So, if you've been watching this channel for a while or your situation's changed and you think, hey, maybe it's time to reach out for support, then you are welcome to book a complimentary call. We'll chat, we'll get to know each other, and we'll see if we're the right fit to work together. Now, alternatively, guys, if dating after divorce has felt more difficult than it should, there is a reason for that. Now, many men that I speak to aren't doing anything wrong, but they are unknowingly repeating patterns in dating and in relationships that quietly push the right women away and pull the wrong ones closer. So, I've put together a free 20-minute video that breaks this down clearly. The men that have watched this video often tell me the very same thing. I finally understand what's going on and what to do differently. So if you are ready for something more intentional with your dating life, not just more dates, but the right kind of connection, then this video is worth your time, and it's going to lead you to attract the right kind of emotionally secure and loving woman for a relationship. Now, if that video resonates for you, I have built a full program called Dating Mastery for Men that walks you step by step how to apply this in your real life. If you can do it privately from the leisure and convenience of your home. You're welcome to watch that video first, and the link to do that is in the description. Now let's start with what personality actually is, because this word gets used loosely and it deserves a little more precision than that. Now in psychology, it refers to the stable, enduring patterns in how we think, feel, and engage with the world. Not our mood on a particular date or night, and not the version of ourselves that we tend to perform when we're feeling a little bit nervous, which, let's be honest, is a very different person than who we are when we're not feeling nervous. Now, the underlying architecture of who you actually are is your personality. And here's what matters for dating. Emotionally intelligent women are reading that architecture. They can't always name what they're going to be picking up, but they feel it. And if you've been watching any of the videos on my channel, you know that women make decisions based on how they feel. That's why when they don't feel a connection, they tell you they didn't feel a romantic spark, or they weren't feeling what they were hoping to feel. So it's all about feelings for women. And every quality that I'm going to walk you through either creates a pull towards you or a quiet, instinctive withdrawal. So let's get really specific now. The first one is having a personality and a characteristic of groundedness, especially when things get a little disrupted or rattled. So I want you to picture this. You're on a date with a beautiful woman and something goes a little sideways. Maybe you misread her tone. Maybe there's a moment of awkwardness. Maybe a joke that didn't land, a comment that came out wrong. And watch what most men will do in that moment. They'll over-explain. They'll backpedal. They get visibly uncomfortable. They try to fix it, smooth things over. And some men will even just go quiet and stiff. Whereas others will fill that space with so much nervous energy that now she's managing them instead of enjoying the date. So that steadiness is not something women can talk themselves into finding attractive. It just bypasses rational thought. It registers as, this man is safe. This man won't fall apart when things are hard. And life is pretty hard, and especially if a woman's coming out of a long-term relationship. A difficult one, let's say. That signal is not just attractive, it is deeply, almost viscerally reassuring for her. Now watch what a grounded man does. He notices the awkward or stiff moment. He might acknowledge it simply without drama, maybe even with a quiet smile, like a man who's comfortable enough with himself to find the awkward moment endearing or funny. And then he just stays steady. His voice doesn't change. He doesn't perform a recovery. He's just still there. or he acknowledges it and moves the conversation back to where they were before. So being grounded is not the same thing as being emotionless. It's just about having a stable enough relationship with yourself that you don't need every interaction to go perfectly in order to feel okay. Now, quality number 2 is genuine curiosity, and this is especially around subjects or topics that you just don't know very well. And the pattern I see with a lot of people is that, and I want you to hear this without judgment, by the way, is that when you feel uncertain in a conversation, you'll often gravitate towards what you know or circle the conversation back to yourself. Maybe your work, your expertise. You're like, oh, I've had a similar situation with my, and you go try and come alongside her by then sharing your version of what she's talking about. And oftentimes we'll do that. You'll move it back to your own expertise, things that you can speak to confidently. It feels safer. It feels like you're having a better flow of conversation because it's a subject that you know a little bit about. But here's what's happening on her side of the table. She starts to feel more like a passive audience towards you. The conversation is happening at her, not with her. And at some point, she'll maybe check out a little bit or stop leaning in as much. She's smiling, she's nodding, and she's actually planning to tell her friends about you tomorrow. So, genuine curiosity is very much the opposite of that. It's a man who hears something in that she says and actually chooses to go deeper. So maybe she mentions that she recently started painting again after years of not doing it. Well, a very surface response, a very surface level curiosity is, oh, that's great, what do you paint? It's fine, it's polite, but it's also somewhat forgettable. Now, the deeper, more curious question is, oh wow, painting, that's so lovely. What made you get back to it now? Was there something that shifted recently for you? Now that question goes underneath the activity of painting to the person. You're not just cataloging facts about her. You want to understand what moves her. And that's what genuine curiosity creates. You're not just the man she met and went on a date with. You're the man who made her feel like she is somebody worth exploring. Now, quality 3 is having clear values and having values worth having. And this is an important distinction because it doesn't get made that often. And confidence in your values is attractive, but the values you have also matter. So think about a man who lives by 3 things he's written down but never wavers on. Integrity. He does what he says even when it costs him something. Presence. The people who matter to him actually have his attention, not just his proximity. And growth. When someone he respects challenges his thinking, he doesn't get defensive. He goes back to having that curious mindset. And this kind of man doesn't announce his values on a date, right? He doesn't arrive saying, just so you know, I'm a man of great integrity, which if you ever hear a man say that, you probably should run. Or if you hear a woman say that, he should probably run. Now, you don't need to announce what your values are because the truth is you're embodying them in how you speak about other people, in how you handle a moment of friction without flinching or blaming. In the quiet way, you hold yourself accountable when something goes wrong. Now, when a woman sits across from a man like that, she feels something she can't immediately name. She feels in contact with someone real. It's like, oh, something feels different with him. It's not a performance. It's not a high highlight reel. It's like a real man, and that's what she's thinking. And this is what clear-lived values do. They make you visible in the best possible way. And the right woman is not just attracted to that, she's deeply looking for it. Now, the 4th quality is warmth. But this is warmth in a slow, deliberate way without an agenda. Now, I want you to sit with this one because this happens a lot to men that are dating again after a divorce or a breakup. And when you are dating again after a relationship that's ended, there is often a very human undercurrent of urgency. It's not necessarily desperation. It's just a real hunger for connection, for the feeling that a woman sees you and wants you back. And it's a very completely human thing. But when your hunger for connection drives the pace, something usually will go wrong. That might look like you rush the feelings or you tell her she's the most amazing woman you've ever met after 2 conversations, or you double down when she's not quite ready. And what this woman is feeling underneath all of that is the weight of what you're needing. And she's not just being pursued by you, she's being asked to make you feel okay. And that's something that most women won't be able to do, even if they like you. So contrast that with a man who's just genuinely warm. He really enjoys this woman. He's finding her really interesting and who really allows things to develop at a real and unhurried pace. You don't need her enthusiasm tonight to feel confident tomorrow. You're just present with wherever things actually are. And that patience is a really powerful signal that a man can send because he says, I'm not here because I'm lonely. I'm here because I'm interested in you. And that's not withholding. That's just self-possession. And self-possession is one of the most attractive things a human can project. So here is the thread that runs through all four of these characteristics and qualities: groundedness, curiosity, values, warm, unheard presence. None of them are things you are performing. None of them are techniques on a date. They are the natural expression of a man who has done real work on himself, who knows who he is, what he stands for, and what he actually has to offer a woman. So you don't have to have all these four things perfectly, but the more clearly you can see where some of your gaps are, the more intentional you can be about closing those gaps. And that's the work. And that's the work worth doing, because not only do you become happier and more confident and embodied within yourself, which will help all your relationships, but it then makes connection and dating feel a hell of a lot easier. Now, guys, before I go, if dating after divorce has felt a little tad more difficult than it should be, there is a reason for that. I've put together that free 20-minute video that breaks this down clearly. You're going to see why dating feels confusing, inconsistent, or frustrating to you. And more importantly, you'll understand what actually shifts it. And it's not surface-level advice, right? If you're ready for something more intentional, not just more dates, but really the right kind of connection with an attractive woman who is deeply available to you, then this is a video for you. I've built a full program called Dating Mastery for Men that walks you at your own pace through all of the steps on how to apply this in real life. So go ahead and watch that free video first, and the link to do that is in the description here. But thank you for your time, and I will see you guys next week. Ciao.